This afternoon, uncertainty has clouded the much-anticipated meeting between former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The former minister was billed to avail himself to investigators of the OSP after he was identified as a prime suspect in 5 corruption scandals, including the ambulance purchase saga. However, that meeting has been thrown into disarray after a letter from lawyers of the OSP disclosed his health condition had deteriorated, hence he could not make himself available physically. The OSP had earlier warned a failure by the once powerful minister would result in his re-entry on the list of wanted persons, with extradition efforts taken to force his return. But this afternoon, we want to bring you up to speed on this tango between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the former Finance Minister. What are the 5 cases, one of which I've mentioned, the ambulance purchase saga, and how far have we come since that first declaration of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta as a wanted person and a fugitive from justice? Let's try and refresh your memory at home and then look forward to that much-anticipated news conference expected a lot later today by the Special Prosecutor. And so here's a list of the 5 cases to which Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the former Finance Minister, has been labelled as a prime suspect in. The first, the Petroleum and Minerals Revenue Assurances agreement between the government of Ghana and also the Electricity Company of Ghana contract termination between BXG. Then there's the National Cathedral project that we know has become what many have described as a very expensive hole in somewhere in the capital of the country. Then there's the ambulance purchase saga, details of which Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, now Foreign Affairs Minister, serialized quite greatly, resulting in a number of concerns being raised. One of such concerns picked up by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Then there is a GRA tax petroleum fund management. Of that account, there's been concerns about disbursement, amongst many other things. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has taken it up as a subject matter of interest and is looking into it. But here's where it all started. The 2nd of January 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta wrote to the former Chief of Staff, because remember, as at the 2nd of January, former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was still president, awaiting the swearing in of John Dramani Mahama as President of the Republic. And so Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta wrote to then Chief of Staff, Madam Akosua Fremel-Soyal-Pare, to seek medical attention abroad. Now, on the 22nd of January, Ken Ofori-Atta wrote to the current Chief of Staff, Julius Zebra, informing him of his absence from the jurisdiction. Now, 2 days later, the Special Prosecutor or his office wrote to the former Finance Minister asking him to attend an interview on the 10th of February at the OSP as a suspect in respect of 4 corruption and corruption-related offenses. At that time, it was 4, but subsequently it got upgraded to 5. Then on the 31st of January, Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers wrote to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and making him aware of his absence and the availability to assist with whatever information the OSP would be seeking. But the Office of the Special Prosecutor will insist that the former Finance Minister makes an appearance and is available for the interview, in failure of which he would take steps to secure his return to the country. And upon that, we got to know that lawyers of Mr. Ofori-Atta wrote suggesting a possible in-person interview after March. The Office of the Special Prosecutor did not budge. We know that the house of the former Finance Minister was raided by national security operatives, which we got to know of subsequently. Then the lawyers of Mr. Ofori-Atta again wrote to the Special Prosecutor to inquire if the raid at his home was at his instance. But on the 12th, the Special Prosecutor will address that news conference, declaring Mr. Ofori-Atta wanted and a fugitive from justice. The lawyers of Mr. Ofori-Atta would write again to the Office of the Special Prosecutor to clarify the rescheduled interview and demand that his name be taken off the wanted list. The OSP in a press statement announced he had been removed from the wanted list. And then we know that the lawyers wrote to the OSP to draw the attention to the fact that the post declaring him wanted was still on. And subsequently, we know that upon this, there was that June 2 date, which is today, where that face-to-face interrogation by investigators of the Office of the Special Prosecutor was expected to take place. We know as well that Mr. Ofori-Atta has taken or sought redress at the Human Rights Division of the Accra High Court, seeking to bar the Office of the Special Prosecutor from declaring him as a wanted person going forward, and as well taking steps to remove that initial wanted notice from any of its registered documentation. Let's go on to the phone lines right now and speak to Inusa Abdullahi Bista Fusheni. He's a private legal practitioner. I'll pick his thoughts on the latest we're getting to know of this standoff or this tango between the former finance minister and the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Counsellor, I appreciate you speaking to us this afternoon. What do you make of this latest development, the unavailability of the former finance minister, and really what recourse is now available to the Office of the Special Prosecutor in this interview, which they describe as crucial in proceeding with their case?
Well, thank you for having me. I think that it is now becoming abundantly clear that Ken Ofori-Atta does not intend to make himself available to the Special Prosecutor to assist in the investigations of the matters that have come before the Special Prosecutor. And so the option appears to be what the Special Prosecutor earlier took, the steps that he earlier took, that is declaring him a fugitive from justice, a wanted person.
Well, you say he's not interested in making a return. His lawyers have a contrary view. In fact, they've served the Office of the Special Prosecutor with documentation, from what we know, suggesting that his health situation has taken a turn for the worse. In fact, that suits they filed, where we are expecting a ruling on June 18, they've made copies of these documents also available to the Human Rights Division of the High Court. That's evidence of the fact that he cannot be available.
The fact is that the fact that the lawyers of Ken Ofori-Atta have presented or are alleged to have presented documents to the Special Prosecutor alleging that Ken Ofori-Atta's health conditions have deteriorated, does not in any way overreach the powers of the Special Prosecutor to demand that he appears before him to enable him investigate matters that have come before him.
But really, what course of action can the OSP be taken? Because we know that there's that June 18 ruling expected by the Human Rights Division of the High Court. He can't possibly proceed to want to declare him wanted again, can he?
Nana Ofori-Atta is in court, in the Human Rights Court, to vindicate a right that he thinks he has, and he's doing that through his lawyers, until the Human Rights Court pronounces or upholds the rights that he thinks he has in not appearing before the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Nothing prevents the Special Prosecutor from continuing with his job in terms of demanding that Ken Ofori-Atta appears before him. So the Special Prosecutor will proceed. I mean, you can use the court to frustrate the performance of a function given to the Special Prosecutor by a statute. And so the Special Prosecutor will prosecute. I will advise that he proceeds until the court rules otherwise.
Where do you stand, though, in the argument being made that the processes up until now, it does appear the former finance minister has had his way, and that the OSP should proceed nonetheless, whether or not Ken Ofori-Atta is present, and build a case against him and take it to court, rather than this merry-go-round as to an appearance or not?
Yeah, this is a criminal matter. He's being wanted in connection with the investigation into some alleged crimes being committed by him or in complicity by him. And so it is not a civil matter where he can ensconce himself abroad and make himself unavailable to the special prosecutor and still think that the special prosecutor can continue with the investigations. The investigations that are being carried out of the special prosecutor will require the presence of Ken Ofori-Atta to answer those questions. And so I do not see how the special prosecutor can proceed without the accused person appearing before him.
And where does that leave us if he continues to, on the basis of his health, does not appear? What really is the course of action that can be taken if he's so unwell?
That will go into matters of mutual legal assistance that we have with other countries where Ken Ofori-Atta is presently residing, to invoke the jurisdiction of those countries and the assistance of the criminal investigative authorities in those countries to arrest and repatriate him to Ghana.